few months ago, I made a video called The Most Common Mistake in High Emerald, and it was about High Emerald players having tunnel vision, not really understanding what objective to play for, what to do next in the game to win the game, not really understanding the priority between different objectives. And I see the same exact situation appear here. And this is Emerald 1, Diamond 4. I'm playing Riven here. I just played this game. And I thought this was a really interesting example, really highlighting this. So we're pushing here. We have 3 Drakes. Soul is about to spawn. What we should do, and what's really easy to kind of understand, if you think about it, is if you want to play for Soul, for example, we should push mid, push bot, push the lanes around it, and then move into this area, clear vision, set up vision ourselves, maybe plant a ward here, and control the area until Soul is spawning so we can take it. Because if we're controlling the area, we pushed out the lanes, it's harder for them to enter, and we can increase our chances of picking up the Soul, which is huge. Now, if everybody thought about this and were aligned with this idea, then it's so easy to execute. It's like, it's very easy. Everything else just kind of falls into place, but they aren't. And I will show what happens when that's the case. And I think part of it is that people don't really understand the priority, like how to prioritize objectives, what the value between different objectives are. Because as you will see, this Xerath and Janna, they start getting word about Volibear pushing this tier 2 tower. But Soul is way more worth than a tier 2 tower. So we'll easily just give the tier 2 tower and take Soul. That's a positive trade for us. I would even argue that we could give tier 2 tower, inhibitor, and we could be sort of fine with that trade. Because Soul is permanent. We can defend the inhibitor and we'll have the permanent Soul. We should be winning late game. I would argue we're happy with that trade. But definitely trading tier 2 for Soul, super worth it. But we can see here that they don't really understand that that's what we should play for. So let's play out the clip. I'm pushing bot. Volibear's pushing top. He has TP. The cooldowns here are bugged. So you're pushing mid here. This is fine. Zac jumps in. Why jump in? Don't jump in. If we play for Soul, you should never die here. Don't get engaged on. Just push and go to the Soul. Okay, it's fine. They push in. Now they should move in as a unit here, right? Sweep, ward, play for the Soul. I should do the same thing. That's why I'm pushing bot. I'm pushing bot. I get the XP. I'm pushing this lane in. They have to deal with the wave. I move the vision forward and then I can move in here. But now look what happens. The Xerath is pinging top. He's going top to defend that tier 2 tower because he's worried Volibear's going to take it. Zac's getting caught. Vayne's doing something in between here. She's trying to help Zac. He's getting caught. Janna is recalling. What the fuck is going on here? They're completely misaligned. They're tunnel visioning on different suboptimal plays. We don't want to fight here. We don't want to defend here. We don't want to recall. We want to all go together and get Soul. But you see, like, this utter chaos of what's happening. Now, if Xerath knew that we were playing for the Soul, he would never move up here. If Zac knew that we were playing for the Soul, he would never jump in here and fight. If Janna knew, if they knew, they would all move here together and it would all fall in place. And it's just about that overarching idea of knowing that we want to play for the Soul because the Soul is really important. So that's the entire objective right now. The entire minigame is playing for the Soul. And when you do that, everything else falls into place. This is really important to understand. It's not more complicated than that. See what happens. So I'm pushing, Zac's getting caught, Vayne tries to help. Rakan goes in. She should never help there. You can't just auto max range into Sejuani Rakan. You can't. You need to play further back. Zac messed up. You don't help. You stay behind your Janna. You value your life. If he dies, it's bad, but it's still fine. They're so strong, so they're kind of doing sort of fine in this fight. But Vayne gets caught here. I come in. I could have played this better as well. I die. And they just won. They got 4 for 3. And now they can deny Soul from us. And it's horrific. This is tunnel vision in High Emerald 2.0. Like, this is what's going on. People are misaligned on what to do. What is the next thing to do? What is the next objective to play for? What objective is important? They're not thinking about it. You can see Zac was fighting. Xerath was trying to defend. Janna was recalling. They're completely lost in that sense. Okay, so what's the takeaway here? Are you just doomed or what? I, for one, could have pinged more. I did ping, but I could have pinged more. I should have been more clear. When I say ping, I mean you should use your entire rotation until they listen. If you identify that, hey, we should play for Soul here, push mid, push bot, boom, 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 back mid, back mid, back mid, go Drake, go Drake, go Drake, right? That should be your pings. I didn't do that, so I possibly could have influenced my team to not take that fight and we could have gone Soul. Now, we won the game anyway, but it's just an example. Now, if you do ping, and you are very clear with your pings there, and they still die, well, it's fine. You did what you did what you could. They won't listen sometimes, it will happen, and you just move on. Like, that's League is a numbers game. You play the numbers, and if you do the right thing, you're eventually going to get rewarded. And let's say you're not sure. Let's say you're not sure and you ping, and it was the wrong play, or it didn't work. Well, at least you learned something. You played with intention, you took responsibility, you made a decision, it didn't work. Fine. At least you learned something. It's better than being a dead fish following the stream, making no decisions, just following everybody else, and you learn nothing. Now, let's say you're any of these players here. Let's say you're Sack. If you actually identify that you want to play for the Soul here, you spam ping Soul and you start moving Soul, very likely everybody just follows, because Zac was the one who got caught in the first place because he wanted to fight. But let's say you're Xerath here. Even if you start pinging and you move towards the Drake after pushing the wave, it's very likely your team just follows and you go Drake. Same if you're Janna and Vayne. And if Zac goes in anyway, well, it's still fine. We're still 4 people. We can still contest that Drake if we control the area. So the takeaway is, realize what you want to play for, communicate it clearly, and just go for it.